what are those biggest challenges that are in this room of people right now? So, does anyone in the room have a card with a total of 28 points on it?
Wow.
Okay, so as you can see, there is not one challenge that is highly impacting all of us. All right, how about 27? Oh, well, that is the highest number, right? 4 times 7 would be 28. Okay. I want to make sure you're all with me so you're not like, how'd you get 28? Okay, how about 27? 26? 25? 24? 23?
Wow.
23. Lee, what does your card say? Can you read it for us, please?
How to help the newbie be successful right away.
How to help the newbie be successful right away. Kristen's going to write for us. So we have our top challenges. And that was how many points? 23. Thank you. How about 22? Okay, so 22, stand up. It looks like we have 3 of them, and that's going to give us our top 3, but we'll have a tie, so our top 3 responses in the room. Go ahead.
My biggest challenge to coaching new consultants for success is I've not established a system.
Okay.
Oh.
So I don't have a system. Okay, Terry?
My challenge is getting consultants to dream big and share their goals and stretch.
Oh.
Okay.
That should have been.
Getting consultants to dream big and stretch, right? Have goals and stretch. Getting consultants to dream big, stretch, and have goals. I think that was it. I reversed the order. Kathy?
My challenge is initiating the system. There are so many great ideas, but putting them in place is overwhelming.
Okay.
Overwhelmed with where to start.
Initiating systems. Okay, so I think what we do today is going to be helpful for really all of you and all of your challenges. And when you look at these, and when we talked about this, it's really interesting because nothing stands out as like earth-shattering major to everyone in this group. If you think about the sample, each card was into 5 and times 2. Okay, think about it, was into 9 people's hands. All right, minus 1. So basically the person who wrote it, and then the pairs, the 4 pairs. So if you think about that, that's a great sampling of who's in this room. So today it really is not about me telling you what to say, when to say it. It's really about, because we have a strong start for that, okay, that Love and Stacy and I wrote, and Home Office has further developed, and now Kristen has taken to virtual. So there are a lot of programs that you can copy for that. It's a matter of setting aside the time to make that happen. And you've been equipped with vision boards, and you've been equipped with tracking charts and everything. So you have that kind of thing. But what we're going to work on today should help you with all of these challenges, except the initiating systems, because that's a self-discipline thing. That's taking the time to make it happen, all right? This is a method and a technique that when it's applied, I think it'll make coaching for you personal and effective, all right? So at least it has for me for all these years. So who here has ever worked with teenagers? Okay, great, good, lots of people. You know, whether they were your own children or they were siblings, peers, babysitters, you worked in a job, whatever. I think all of us have had work with some teenagers. But let me ask you this. Did they do exactly, always, did they always do exactly what you asked or told them to, when you asked and told them to do it, and how you asked and told them to do it? Anyone? Because I want to meet you. Okay. So here's the thing. It's no different with adults. It really is not. And this includes the consultants on your team. You cannot expect them to do exactly what you say when you say to do it. They have to be a part of it, right? So let me just be straight. When you finally found a way to work with your teams, you found a method that worked. Now, there could have been some coercion that you, if they were your own children, that you were allowed to include, right? Some consequences, different things with patients. But with adults, you've got to help them get on board. This has to be their doing, you're leading, you're partnering with them. So a lot of times people will say, I can't get people to do what I want them to do. You know, that's always one that I hear up here, right? And they think I need to persuade these people. I need to get them to do what they want. So the persuasion by definition, the art of getting what you want, right? Do what I want you to do. Doesn't that feel sometimes like you're pushing people or pulling them along, right? Rather than being side by side and coaching with them. So I feel like the real art in persuasion is finding the person's wants and needs and igniting movement step by step by step in the direction that they want to go. So let me say that again. I feel like persuasion in coaching is the real art is finding the person's wants or needs and igniting movement step by step in that direction. We have to step away from the belief that people will do what we say and begin looking for ways to help people find their own path and get done what they want to do. So let's switch from persuasion to coaching. It's about putting the us in trust, all right? I could talk to you all day today about coaching. It's really one of my favorite parts of the business, and I absolutely love it. I find it intriguing when I can find ways to help people reach their goals and dreams, and it's absolutely rewarding when that happens. All right, with that being said, we only have one session today to do some coaching, so I'm going to try to help you be more effective. All right? Take a look around the room for a second. Do one more activity with me. And I want you to look around the room, and I want you to find all of the items just from where you are that are red. So go ahead and take a second to do that, and just look. No talking. This is an individual activity. All right? Just look around for a second.
Good luck.
Okay? Now I'm going to ask you to close your eyes. I still see some eyes, so close them. And now what I'd like for you to do is to think about everything you saw that was blue.
Oh.
Think about it, right? Not so easy. Okay, you can open your eyes. Not so easy, right? Because here's the problem. We focus on the one thing that we are told to focus on, or the one thing that we are driven to focus on, and we can miss so much more. This happens with coaching also. The same kind of thing, all right? We have got to see the entire big picture and find a path of where this person wants or needs to go and help ignite the movement for them in that direction. Okay? So that they do have a focus, but you're not ignoring everything else. In any coaching situation, it's important to gather all the information, assess the situation, and draw a menu of possibilities for them to choose, all right, how they're going to move. So you can imagine if that red-blue thing was a coaching situation, and you go into it having a preconceived notion that red is the way to go, right? And you're coaching a person without gathering the information, can you see how much you would have missed if really what they needed was blue? So I just want that to stick with you. All right, so coaching is about finding the us in the word trust. It's all about trust and working together. This is a huge factor that influences people to say yes, is trust. So when people feel that they can take part in their own solutions, they begin to take a huge role in their success, and they also begin to take accountability and work towards even higher expectations and to exceed those expectations. So finding the S in trust is all about creating a partnership in coaching, and it's about getting them talking. It's about getting them talking. So if you're doing this virtually, it's not any different. If you're texting, it's still about creating that conversation that they're helping lead. You're getting them involved, all right? So trust is not only going to be our, try not to stand in front of it, so I was over at the podium, so I'll just stand, I'll move over here. Trust is not only going to be our first focus in coaching, but it's also going to be our acronym for our system. So let's run through those. The T is going to stand for teach through listening, and I'm going to teach you how to do that, all right? The R will stand for relentlessly following up. The U will be you are more important than me. In the conversation and in the coaching situation, the other person is more important than me, okay? The S then will be to help see more. And the T will be about creating their path. So again, teach through listening, relentlessly follow up. You are more important than me, see more, and create their path. Okay? So let's get started. Let's get started on the T. Trust is teaching through listening. All right. This method requires the art of asking questions. So there's something to listen to, right? If you don't ask questions, there's nothing to listen to. You can find out what you need to know and then help them discover what they need to do. They have to be a part of that discovery of what they need to do, all right? We're going to spend a lot of time here because this is the foundation for the rest. And it sounds so simple. I've used it for decades. And then being a national for 16 years now, or 17 years, I could count on one hand the number of months that we have not been paid as at that national title. And, you know, for us, there's another level, so we can talk about that. But a lot of that comes from conversations and not telling and having that us and trust and really working as a team. So let me ask you this. What if you could coach on any topic, simply through asking questions? Like literally not telling even one thing. That'd be good, wouldn't it? Okay? So this came to me after a call I had with a leader in our organization, and in the call she was saying, you know, I told her to do this and I told her about that, and she's not listening, but does this sound familiar to all of you? I don't know what to do next, and I can't seem to get it through to her, all right, because I know I've told her. So, and I had to say, could I share what I'm hearing? And she said yes, and I said, well, I'm hearing the told, right? What I'm not hearing about is the partnership. So we worked on an activity together and to help her be a coach, and here it is. All right. So here's the easiest way to try this or to think about this is when you're getting acquainted with people. All right. So when you're getting acquainted with someone, too often we try to jump in pretty quick and start to say about ourselves. So for example, if I'm meeting someone and they say, I have 2 daughters, I do too, because you're trying to find that common ground. And what I would like to teach you is not to do that, but rather to draw out as much information from someone as you can before you start to say anything about yourself, okay? So it's really imperative in coaching to ask enough questions to see the entire picture. It has to be really crystal clear because that's what the foundation of, okay, what's our solution going to be? And so I have to have enough information. So with the person next to you, and I know there's 5 per table, so somewhere you're going to have to just turn the person behind you or whatever. But with someone next to you for 30 seconds, and this is going to be a full 30 seconds, I want you to try to ask that person questions following a conversation without saying one word about yourself. So how this would go is something like this. Hang on. It would be something like, hi, I'm Becky. What's your name?
Elizabeth.
Elizabeth, it's so nice to meet you. How is it that you know the people here?
Through Terry Abbott.
Oh, through Terry, yeah. I know Terry, how, oopsie.
Ah.
Start over. So this is what you're gonna do. You guys start over. You guys start over. Hi, I'm Becky. How are you? Good. What's your name?
Elizabeth,
Elizabeth. How is it that you know the people here?
through Terry Abbott.
Through Terry Abbott. Terry Abbott. How do you know Terry?
My mom is actually a consultant under her, and I signed with her, and that's how I met Terry.
Wow. So how long has your mom been a consultant?
About 16 years,
16. And how long have you been?
almost 2 years.
Wow. How does your mom feel about that?
I think she's excited. She likes how she runs her business, so I'm a
Do
little
you
bit
like
more
how she runs her
ambitious.
business?
A little more ambitious.
You are?
Yes.
Well, that's fun. So tell me about your ambition. What are you working towards?
I'm working towards director right now,
Exciting. When are you going to do that by?
before conference.
Oh, nice. How's that going to feel when you walk across stage at conference?
It's gonna be great.
Good. And how is your family going to benefit most, or what's kind of driving you to make that happen by that deadline?
I'm really working towards quitting my full-time job because I work way too much.
What is that full-time job? So do you see how it is?
Yeah.
Okay, so if you stop and you say something about yourself, start over. Okay? Even if it's how you know
We
the
do have to
person.
talk about one person though.
Yeah, but we're going to do 30 because you will never keep track. I know you'll keep talking. Okay? So we're going to do 30 seconds one way right now. Okay? Ready? Find a partner. needs to be worked on, and yet it's super important, right? So let me just say this, that while coaching consultants, in order to what some people call persuade, but I call coach, all right, it's really important to ask enough questions for them to find the direction that they need to go in, what goals they have, what reasons they have for going for those goals, and you can find all that out. You need to ask enough questions to lead them in that direction, all right, so they can start seeing their path. Make sure that one's off. All right, so remember when I asked you if you could coach on any topic simply by asking questions, right? I'm going to try that right now. Tell me your name.
Sharon.
Sharon. So I'm going to coach Sharon on something like host coaching. How's that? Okay? Come on up, Sharon, so they can hear you. Sharon, I'm super excited to help you with host coaching. How is your show average right now?
About 700.
700, that's exciting. Are you happy with that, or would you like to see that go even more?
No, I'd love for it to be 1,000.
Okay, 1,000, how much income would you be earning on a $1,000 party average per show?
20% is 200.
Yeah.
So like you're about that.
Okay, so about $270, would that work for you per party? And how many people are coming to, are you doing virtual or cooking?
Mostly cooking.
Okay, mostly cooking. How many people do you have in attendance at your parties right now?
Usually 8 to 12.
Okay, so how would you feel if you went from 8 to 12 at 700 to 1,000? How do you think we would need, like, what kind of things do you think we would need to increase in order to make that jump in the sales volume at the parties?
For me personally, I know that I need to just focus more on word choice a lot, and and a lot of cross-selling. I know I don't do enough cross-selling.
Okay. How would you feel if there were more people at your party?
Okay, as long as it's not, I don't like them to be too big because they get out of control. But more people, but certainly more orders.
Okay, so okay. Are you saying that you want ghosts to come?
No, but I want to work with my host more to do more pre-orders before I even get there.
So one way you could increase your show average is through pre-orders. That's what I'm hearing from you.
Right.
And you would like to work on that. That sounds great. We could definitely do that. And to get to that $1,000 mark, could you tell me what products you're highlighting at your party?
The quick cooker, obviously, and the cookware, and
Those are super products.
Yeah.
How about, so I haven't told anything to do, but what am I knowing that she really needs?
She needs outside orders.
She needs outside orders, she needs more people at her party, and
People
she
buying
needs
more. People
higher
buying
sales
more.
per person,
Right.
Yeah.
right? If I tell her, well, you need to get more people at your party, you need higher sales per person, and you need, is she gonna listen to
No,
me?
no.
Because it's me.
Right.
So I have to keep asking enough questions to get her right. So how could we get your host to have more outside orders? Tell me what you're doing to get those outside orders right now. What else do you think we could do to get more outside orders? Have you thought of this? Have you thought of that? That kind of thing might be where I get some suggestions in. Let's give it up. So you can do that on any topic. Try doing it on your family members. You know how they say try and do this at home before you try that at home. Just start practicing on people because it's really super important. Now remember, there's going to be times when you need to deliver information. That's training. That's not coaching. And there's a difference. So if you're training, you're telling, you're teaching. If you're coaching, it has to be about them and what they want, and you're building the us and trust, okay? The next one, like I said, we'll spend time there, but I think I can get us back on track here pretty quick. So the R is relentlessly following up. Again, through asking questions to remind them what they wanted this for, the short-term objectives. You know, is this still your goal? Are you feeling stressed by this? Tell me more about that. What part of it is making you anxious? That kind of thing. Also letting them not give up on themselves, right? You have to make the follow-up a priority. We always say join at the hip, that kind of thing. But here's the thing, people say, I'm not good at follow-up. That's a cop-out. That's a cop-out because here's the thing, discipline is not something that you're born with, all right? It's not a gene in your DNA, okay? You get to choose to make changes and be disciplined about following up. I use a planner. Whether it's paper or electronic, it doesn't matter. Mary just talked to you all about that. But to be disciplined and to follow up and make it be one of your scheduled items for the week. And always schedule your next appointments on the coaching call that you're having right now because it'll save you time, or use something like Calendly, okay? You are more important than me, because I've said it many times already. This is not about me, it's about them. All right, you're the leader, so remember this. Getting people to feel empowered so they take part in their own solutions is huge. All right, they begin to take the role in their success. They have to feel empowered. Their family, which if you think about family, forget about me, I love you. Family. Forget about me, I love you. Right? So that's what you're trying to do when you're doing this coaching with them. All right? The S, you have to see more for them and inspire them to see more for themselves than they currently do. And create the desire for more and ask questions to create this big dream. Let them know what you see in them. Create a big picture and dream together. Vision boards are a great way to do that. It doesn't even have to be a ginormous board. It could be an 8.5 by 11 piece of paper where you help create a vision board for them. It could be a Canva piece where you start pulling in pictures and create a vision board with them on a Zoom call or whatever you're doing. They can pull it. If they're virtual, they can pull pictures, trust me, pretty quick, and put them in a Canva and send it as their vision board. All right? So you want to really help them see that, share their belief in them, because you know what? So often in this business, we have to believe in them before they believe in themselves. Every successful person has had someone else believing in them, probably before they believed in themselves, okay? And now their path. Create their path. Help them see the path for success. Again, custom. This is where you're going to use custom questions. Custom to their situation, to build their unique path to their goal. And when you've asked questions and listened to them and you see more for the dreaming and the path that they want to do, they're going to take action. They're part of this, all right? So we talked about trust. We talked about trust being, how do I back up on here? Teach through listening, relentlessly follow up. You are more important than me, and see more, and their path. And when you do all this, you'll find out that great leaders inspire trust. They understand the importance of timing, and they are tenacious. But most of all, they are trustworthy, and that's what your consultants need to feel. More than anything. They don't need someone telling them all these little bits and pieces. They need to feel a part of leading their business towards the growth path that they want. So do you have any questions on anything that I can answer real quick?
How do you teach this to your team?
Well, I would take and do some of the activities that we just did,
Okay.
because I guarantee they're telling.
Yes.
And you hear that on the phone a lot, even with their hosts. So they could start to practice with host coaching their hosts just as we did. Asking your host, how many people would be a successful party to you? Tell me what's on your wish list. If that were a good start but not get you to your wish list, are there other people we could invite? You know what I mean? So you're asking a lot of questions of your host, and maybe you just create 10 questions for them to use, although we have some on Consultant's Corner when you look up, for host coaching. But use today's verbiage,
Okay.
and create, just 10 questions that they can use with their hosts to increase attendance, outside orders, bookings, okay? So, and it is not something that happens overnight, because right away, think about your children, okay? Right away, in the heat of battle, what do you resort to? Tell them what to do, right? Okay? And so if you want to learn the art, you've got to practice it. There will be times again, though, where you'll need to just tell. Remember, that's training or teaching. It's not coaching. But they could practice coaching their hosts, and that will help them in their coaching of consultants. Okay? Anyone else? Question? Okay, great. So we are back on track. So we are back on track, and I get to introduce